So hi everybody, that slide says the universal energy field, and after last night I gave it some more thought about what this universal energy field is. And this morning when I woke up, I received a form of a visualization, but I don't want to take us into meditation, but I just want to read what it says. So just let the words penetrate, and so we can connect to how vast this beautiful universal energy field is. And it says, there's a wonderful pillar of brilliant white light emanating from the cosmic central sun, then being distributed to central suns of all galaxies in this universe, which we are part of. Then get a sense of this light entering through the galactical central sun, then going through our galaxy, then entering our solar system and going through all beings of light, all beings on planet Earth, through our bodies to the center of the earth. And that is what universal energy is about, this massive, wonderful universe which we are connected to. And I like to talk about it as this conscious network of energy that connects us to everything. So we are all connected. And a few important things to know about the universal energy, that it moves through time and space and objects, and it connects us all. So that is the most important thing that we need to take out of what's going on in the universe at the moment, that we are all connected to this. And there are those that can see it as, those that are able to see it as these pulsing white lights. The other thing about this universal energy that we are connected to, the amount of information that is available to all of us. So you don't have to be some guru sitting on a mat or a monk in a cave. That's how my daughter describes us at the moment. We're all in our own caves, but you can connect to this just by asking for guidance and connecting. And what's important about what's happening at the moment, and I'm sure all of us are experiencing this, the universal energy is coming in waves. And some of these waves, as human beings, because we are connected, we will either react or respond to these waves. And there's none of us that won't be impacted by the waves that are passing through the universe. And at times, these waves can feel like you're going in a sense, possibly a sense of shock, could trigger a sense of fear, even a sense of loss, because nothing in the universe can be the same as it was before. And that is what we need to be aware of. And then there's the wonderful thing of the universal energy and this cosmic energy of force at the moment, that there are highs and lows. And in the highs, we can connect and receive the information that we need. And we have to understand that this universal energy is far more than meets our human eye. So when I look at the slide again and I see the vastness, I'm just amazed at how vast and how powerful this universe is and what we as human beings are connecting to. And one of my favorite poets, I always quote Rumi, who was a wonderful mystic, and he says, it comes spinning out of nothingness, scattering stars like dust. And we can connect to those stars and connect to ourselves, and we can find our flow at this time. So Cindy's going to talk a little bit more about our human energy field and how this energy and how we need to take care of ourselves and our chakra system. And the 3 chakras that Cindy will focus on this morning, she's going to focus on your base chakra, your sacral, and your solar plexus. But what I'm just going to tell you is just give you a short overview about the 7 major chakras, which we often work with as energy practitioners. So at the base chakra is your root chakra at the base of your spine. Then you have a sacral chakra, which I say is in your girdle, in your pelvic girdle, and that holds so much. And then that wonderful solar plexus chakra, which is above the tummy button, that personal power, which Cindy will engage with beautifully moving forward. Then we move into the heart chakra, which is in the middle of the chest, and the place where we give and receive love. And at the moment, it is so imperative that we stay grounded and centered in our hearts. And then the throat chakra, which is in the hollow of the throat, and the brow chakra, which is in the center of the brow. And your crown chakra is, this is where at the top of the head, we receive our inspiration and our guidance. So at this, I'd like to just hand over to Cindy as she discusses our auric fields and that vital energy that moves through our chakras and our auric fields. Thank you, Cindy.
Thanks, Val. So for me, energy management is like 101 in our lives. It has been for me, it's changed my life in terms of when I came into my body, eventually after many years of partying and drinking and being completely unmanageable. As I started coming back into my body and grounding and protecting my energy, my life started changing, and I was able to actually deal with things and have good boundaries and really behave in a way that was a lot more sustainable to my serenity and peace. And I was able to access wisdom and also as a result became an energy healer. But a lot of my life I spent outside my body, going from one thing to another, often abusing alcohol and being out there. So grounding and using the energy system and managing my energy has really, brought me to who I am today. And as I say, for me, it's 101. It's something we should all do every day. And I really hope that today we'll be able to share some tools that you can use in your daily lives, especially with the world is the way that it is right now. It's kind of a little bit of as Val says, it's like the sea with these waves coming and we're having our ups and our downs. But if we are grounded and centered and our energy is protected, we will then be able to negate the ups and the downs a lot better, because we'll be able to stand straight and strong, no matter really what, a bit like a tree in the seasons, with these long roots going down and these beautiful roots, and us weathering the seasons. And even if the wind is blowing, we're still able to keep our energy and our connection and our strength. So the first chakra we're going to talk about today is the base chakra. That is at the base, so it's just there. This chakra is extremely important because this is where we connect to this life. This is where we connect to this incarnation. So if you want to live your best life, you need to focus on this base chakra, because this is where we ground. It's our source of fight or flight. So if we want to flight, we kind of come out of our bodies and go up. But if we want to live it and learn the lessons that we're here to live, we need to be grounded into the earth energy. We need to be grounded into this incarnation. We need to be very, very present in our lives. And if we are doing that from the base structure, we'll feel a sense of security in our lives. The other thing that's really important about the base chakra and why we need to keep it clear and in balance, and later on we'll do a visualization where we go through how to balance that base chakra. It governs the immune system in our bodies. So it's a very physical chakra. The immune system, obviously right now, we want to keep our immune system healthy. We want our immune system being able to deter from anything that enters our body that is not serving our body. So we really need the base chakra to be strong and robust and grounded if we want to have invincible energy. Grounding is all I can say. There are different ways of doing it. In the visualization, we'll use roots, but really anchoring down. You can put anchors down. You can imagine yourself wearing cement boots. You can imagine yourself actually being part of the earth. The other thing which I used earlier is imagining that your legs are the trunk of a tree, and from your tree are these beautiful, beautiful roots coming down. The other thing that can help us ground and enhance our base chakra is using breath. I'm not going to go into it a lot today, but that is not about it. But one of the things is just breathe and pause, and automatically, if you're rushing and you're anxious and you stop and you breathe and you pause, things will be easier. It will be easier to negate life itself. So a very good example of our changing times today, the founder of the School of Intuition and Healing in the UK, Sue Allen, was out here teaching medical intuition and came to support us healing our students on their healing course. And the first speech that Cyril Ramaphosa did, we were all sitting around the kitchen table, chatting away. And I said, let's listen to this. I think it's going to be important. And Sue, we kind of need to know what's going on. Sue was due to teach the following week. And what happened was he announced that we were going to be closing our borders. Sue had a number of commitments and family members that she needed to get back to the UK for. And we needed to get to a flight that night, and we needed to schedule her because of fear that she wouldn't be able to get back to the UK because of us closing our borders. And it was really interesting because the first time, Sue was the person who taught me many years ago back in London how to ground, where actually Sue came out of her body. And I never thought I'd see the day where I actually had to say to her, Sue, you need to ground. In order for us to get this ticket, we both need to ground and stay calm. And just go onto the internet, you use your phone, I'll use my computer, let's change your ticket. And once we did that, having failed a few times before, we were really able to do what we needed to do. And here we smiled afterwards saying, as teachers of grounding for so many years, we too can come at this time out of our bodies and not be grounded. So things like if you're losing your keys, if you're becoming forgetful, those are signs that you're not grounded. So really just come into your body. For me, when I'm brushing my teeth, when I'm having my shower, these are my cues to ground. Just to ground my feet into the ground, know that I'm connected, check in with that. And as I say, we shower and brush our teeth every day or most day. Well, every day we brush our teeth. Sometimes most of us brush our teeth twice a day. That's grounding twice a day. So while you're brushing your teeth or even washing your hands, because we're doing that so often, just drop those anchors, drop those roots. Just go, am I in my body? And use those as triggers to check in with your grounding. So if you do it twice a day when you're brushing your teeth, I don't know how many times you're washing your hands, but I'm washing my hands a lot at the moment. Imagine just using that as a thing to go, am I in my body? Am I grounded? Am I in this incarnation? Because as we will talk, as we go up the chakra system, there are different things that will bring us out of our bodies. So 101, ground. As we come up, as Val said, I normally say this is just a little bit below the tummy button. We have the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is, the main thing about this is about our emotions. It talks about our creativity and our sexuality and our inner child. But the most important thing right now about this is where we are all holding fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of how we're going to cope with things. It also governs our career and money. And we are not sure where the universe is going. We are not sure what is happening on our earth. So as we sit in this place of uncertainty, our emotions boil up. We become fearful. We become angry. Not only that, some of us are in confinement with people that maybe have negative energy, or people that we might have brothers, sisters, children who trigger us into different emotions. There might be people staying with resentments. So as all these emotions come up and boil up in the body, we lose our grounding. And if this is not in alignment, it can really shake our energy and cause us to weaken our auric system. So again, the sacral right now is very important. You know, I think the best advice, or the advice, maybe not even that, it's not even advice. What I do for myself is I check in. First of all, can I control this? Is it my doing? Or do I just need to reach a point of acceptance and change the things that I can change within my world? So I think that is really important, accept things you cannot change. And the ones that you can, getting yourself into healthy routines, waking up at a time where you can get up and, you're getting up, you're bathing, you're having a routine, you're eating healthily, you're finding some form of exercise, whether it be online. I mean, you should have heard Val's routine this morning to get ready for today. She did a mindfulness webinar or a meditation group, and then she did a yoga group, and then she did a healthy eating program. She connected with the people in the house she's living, and so that is her routine. And before we didn't have time for those things. So really, if we control the things that we can and let go of the others, which brings me really onto the solar plexus, which is about control. It's about the ego. It's about your personal power. And if we're fragmented and we're feeling very emotional and we're worried about our finances and our career and where we're going to go, I know these things are all real, but most of them we can't control. I can't control that. The tea shops that Mark spoke about in the Middle East are closed, and it means that financially I'm not earning money from them, but I can't control that. So I then have to bring it back and focus on the things that I can. So the solar plexus is about control, and right now we've had to hand over our control. We do not have free will to walk around. So we need to work on this energy center to bring it back to when the solar plexus is in balance. It means we're in our personal power. So being in your personal power, so you're grounded, you are feeling positive emotions, and then you're standing in your personal power. And then you're this tree that is invincible, because as the seasons come, it doesn't matter. You're going to be strong. You're going to be doing what you can do. And also what it will be doing is, if your base is strong, remember that is keeping your immune system healthy. That is keeping your immune system strong and able to fight any lurgies that are coming our way. So grounding is really important for me. I'm not sure if the other panelists would like to say something about grounding at this stage and about any of the chakras.
Yeah, the grounding was quite an interesting awakening for me, because, when I started my spiritual journey and actually really started doing a lot of meditating, like many sensitive people, I was unhappy in the horrible world that I found myself in. So I was quite happy to go meditating, connecting to as high a possible place as possible, and didn't pay any attention to the grounding. But when I started doing the grounding, I noticed things in the physical reality started to fall into place. I started to experience much greater synchronicity, and just started feeling healthier and stronger in my body. So it was really something quite important for me to learn as I went along this path.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, and for me, it was also through illness that I left my body. And once I started to engage with my body, even in difficulty, and bringing my awareness back into my body and grounding, that's when I found that I was able to move and shift many things in my life. Yeah. And I always say one of the best things I ever learned when I started working with the school is learning how to ground and how important grounding was. So it made a huge difference in my life.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so now let's move on to the subtle bodies. So the subtle bodies make up our aura, and it's interesting because if you think about it, this aura of ours connects with everyone else. So if you think about we're all connected. So this is the part of us that will then be influenced and connect with other energies and auras. So often you might go, for example, to the doctors or somewhere like that, and you sit in a seat of someone who maybe didn't have a particularly nice aura or was fearful about being at the doctors, and you sit in there and you get a feeling of what that person's energy is like. And that is all connected to how we relate to those different energies through our subtle bodies. So we're going to start off with what encases our physical body. So the first part of our auric field is, if you see there's a little dotted line all the way around the slide. So that there is what we call our etheric energy layer, or our physical body layer. And as this goes around, it's like if you look at Table Mountain on a really bright, beautiful, sunny day, there's that layer of fuzziness just over the top, or on the top of trees. You can see that layer of fuzziness. Or sometimes if you're looking at a long road and you see the fuzziness on a long road when you're driving through the Karoo, that's the etheric body of the road. That's the etheric body of Table Mountain. That is the etheric body of the tree. So it's that layer. Normally on the human, it's about 2.5 centimeters, just around the edge of the body, holding our physical body. It's important that we nurture this, because this is connected to our base chakra. This is connected to our grounding. So making sure that that body is in and holding the body. The next layer that we have is the astral body, or the emotional body. So again, this is about 15 centimeters away from the etheric body. And in here, it's the emotional body. It holds our emotions. It holds how we are feeling. It holds what our emotional attachment is to situations and things. So it holds us. And then we go on and we go to the mental body. This is where we store our thoughts, our repetitive thinking, and in a negative way, I must do this, I should have done this, and old thinking patterns that always raise their heads when we're in stressful situations, and our response to things when we're in stressful situations. And then lastly is our spiritual body, a body that connects with all that is, with God, with source, the divine, and if we agnostic, connects with our own energy force, whichever you choose to call it. So if we think about it, the physical is I sense. So I sense in my physical body, I feel in my emotional body, I think in my mental body, and I know in my spiritual body. So that's what is going on in our spiritual bodies, and it's how we manage these and how we keep these robust. So from our base, from our immune system, we have this amazing, these bodies and our aura around us, and we will be able to control it. So if our energy bodies are not robust, it makes it easier for illness and viruses to creep in. So because at this moment in time where we are, with the fear and the worry of getting the coronavirus, I'd like to explain to you how a virus would enter the energy fields of our auras. So if we start off, a virus starts and it comes into our spiritual layer, we would go, I had a bit of difficulty meditating today. I don't really feel connected. I'm feeling a little bit at sorts. The way that we've done this, or I've done this, is that it's talking about the incubation. So there's a virus hanging out around in the collective consciousness, and all of a sudden it's close to your energy, and it's coming close. So it then goes from the spiritual body, and then it goes into the mental body, say it's for a cold, and you start going, my head feels a little bit thick today. I'm not feeling great. I'm not sure what's going on. Then the next day, I'm feeling a little bit emotional. I'm feeling a bit depressed. I'm a bit sad. And then the following day, I'm lethargic today. I wonder what's going on. I can't think straight. And I'm feeling lethargic, and I'm starting to get a few aches and pains. And then, boom, we've got the illness. And then our body needs to work through the illness or work through the viral. So it says a viral infection sometimes takes X amount of time in the body. Hopefully our body and our immune system in today is strong enough to deal with that virus and process and work through the virus, so that then the virus will come out, and all of a sudden we will start feeling, our body will start feeling better. We'll be getting out of bed, we'll be walking around, we'll be watching TV, not in bed, but maybe on the sofa. And then we start feeling better. We're not feeling down and depressed. We're starting to feel a little bit more our normal selves. All the negative thinking stops. When we're not feeling well, we have lots of thoughts of insecurities and things like that. And then lastly, you're feeling much better. You can do your meditation practice, and boom, there we go. You're feeling as though you are 100% back to normal. So this is how the virus enters the body. Now, Mark, you've got a great story about how you recently worked with a client and the virus coming into the body.
Yeah, thanks, Cindy. It's very interesting because, as an energy healer, I suppose I haven't come across viruses that often. Often if people have a viral infection, they actually cancel their appointments and they stay at home for a few days. But I had a client recently who was under a bit of stress and felt a fever blister was starting to manifest on her lip. And I thought this was interesting because a fever blister is a viral infection. And so I went in to explore and to look for the energy of the virus within the aura. And what I found is that virus energy was actually already in the etheric layer of the aura. And with some strong intention, I managed to move it out, not entirely out of the aura. And when I checked in the next day, I found that it was now in the emotional layer. So I did some more energy healing on that and intentionally moved it out again, and the following day again. And eventually, the energy of that virus was no longer in the client's energy field. And I'm not sure how many of you guys are familiar with fever blisters, but often people feel it coming. Then there's the outbreak, and then a sort of period of recovery that takes a number of days until the blisters actually subside. But in this case, the blisters never actually manifested on the client's lip. She had the tingle, it felt like it was arriving, and then it felt like it was going, and the energy of that virus was moved out of the energy field without actually manifesting physically. So it was really quite an interesting experience and quite interesting to work with that as an energy healer.
Thank you, Mark. That is fascinating. And I think that's a really good example. So where we are right now in the world, I think it's really important that we learn to clear these layers of our energy, to clear the etheric, to clear the emotional, to clear the mental, and to clear the spiritual. So physically, let's talk about that. Physically, we're looking after the body. Emotionally, we doing what we can and letting go of what we need to. Mentally, that negative thinking, that getting caught up in that negative thinking on social media, on the news, really just surrounding ourselves and making good choices around positive energy. And then last, connecting to the collective consciousness, whatever that is for you, connecting to God, to spirit, to the divine, but really keeping that energy lovely and robust. So if you're all up for it, I'd like to do an exercise. and a visualization with you. So first of all, I'd just keep your eyes open, and I'd like you just to make a mental note of the following. So all those people who are looking at their Facebook and checking their emails, can I please have your attention? Right, thank you very much. I'm pleased to have you all back with me. And now let us just scan our bodies. And the first thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to give yourself a percentage of how grounded you are. Just the first number that comes to mind, and remember it. I'd like you to give yourself a percentage of how are you feeling, what are your emotions around fear right now? How fearful? What is the percentage? And then lastly, how strong am I in my power? How much am I in my power? So what percentage are you in your personal power? Good. Just keep a little mental note of those, and if you've written them down, because we're now going to go into visualization. So again, really, if you're sitting, that's great. If you're lying down or want to lie down, that's also okay. But the best place would be sitting in a chair with your feet flat on the ground, and your body as straight as possible. And let's follow the breath. Let us breathe in. Let us breathe out anything that's disturbing us. Let us breathe in, breathing in the beautiful light, and just breathing out anything that is not serving us. Once more, breathe in the light. Breathe out what is not serving us. And as you do, feel yourself getting heavier and heavier and heavier on your chair or wherever you are right now. And feel your feet sinking deep down into Mother Earth. Feel them just going into this beautiful earth. Just feel them sinking in. And as they're sinking in, these two beautiful, healthy roots grow from the soles of your feet down, 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 deep, 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 deep down, down into Mother Earth. And they connect to Mother Earth's energy. Mother Earth has beautiful, soothing, healing energy. She has infinite love and security. And Mother Earth just holds you safely as you bring up this beautiful earth energy up, 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 into the feet, into the ankles, up into your calves, into your knees, up into your base. And just feel Mother Earth as she holds you as you drop a third root down. Feel that root going deep, deep down into Mother Earth, connecting with her infinite love, her wisdom, her safety and her security and her grounding. And you just bring up that energy beautifully up into your base. And then just let that earth energy to ground you even more flow up and down the spine, feeling your back straightening and just feeling this earth energy absolutely holding you. Feel very grounded, and as you do, I'd like you to visualize a red ball opening at your base and just feel that red ball expanding. This red ball is a perfect color red. It has a beautiful vibration, and you can just feel that as it clears and cleanses as we do this visualization. Your base chakra is holding you. It's holding you grounded. It's boosting your immune system, and just feel that energy as it expands and holds you close to Mother Earth. Now move up and focus on the sacral. And there, the sacral is this ball of beautiful yellow, of orange light. It's an orange light, perfectly orange. And as you expand it, let us let go of any fear that we are holding. Let us bring in beautiful love and kindness and lovely emotions, joy, happiness, connection, part of, and just let us feel that beautiful orange opening, feel its vibration, see its vibrant color as this clears away anything blocked in your sacral. Let us now come to the solar plexus, and at the solar plexus, let us just feel this yellow ball of light, a perfect yellow ball, as we start to expand that energy. And you expand that energy, and in there we feel our personal power, our beautiful personal power, as we stand there grounded in wisdom and in joy and in our personal power. We'll feel connected to the earth and to others, and we feel safe in this incarnation. And we just expand that energy out, and we feel grounded. In order to clear our auric and our aura and our fields, what we're going to do is we're going to bring a white light disc through our energy field. So up above you, the size of your aura, so the diameter around your aura, I want you to see this beautiful white light disc above your head, probably about 1/2 meter or even 3/4 of a meter above your head, bright light shining. And as we do, we bring this beautiful white light disc down, and we bring it through the spiritual, connecting to God, to source, to the divine. We bring it down through the mental body, and we then bring it down through the emotional body and in the etheric body. And we just bring this down past our heads, past our neck. Just visualize this white disc coming down, clearing anything in your energy field that is not serving you, bringing it down past the shoulders, down past the top of your body, down past the torso, down past the thighs, the knees, the calves, and then we dissipate that energy into beautiful white light, transmuting it, and we feel the cleansing in our 4 auric layers. We bring a second beautiful white light disc, and again, let us just bring that through our auras, through the spiritual, through the mental, through the emotional, through the etheric, down past our heads, clearing, past our necks, past our bodies, down our bodies, our torsos, down to our hips, down to our thighs, down to our knees, just clearing past our calves, our ankles, and dissipating into Mother Earth. Our energy bodies are feeling very clean and much lighter, but let us just bring a third one to clean up anything that is still left. So visualize this beautiful white light disc, and once again, just bringing it down through the spiritual, through the emotional, through the mental, through the emotional, through the etheric, into the physical body now, and just clearing past the head, past the neck, any last aches and pains in the back and the shoulders, let go into this white light disc, the arms, the hands, the fingers, the hips, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the feet. And once again, everything just dissipates into beautiful white light as it leaves your body into Mother Earth. And just feel your body really cleanse now. I'd like you to check your grounding once more and make sure that those roots are deep down into Mother Earth. And I'd like us to come up to our heart center, which is just in the center of our chest. And just feel our connection to all that is, to God, to Source and the Divine. And I'd like you to think, how grounded am I right now? Give yourself a percentage. How clear of you are feeling fearful? Give yourself a percentage. I am standing in my personal power. Give yourself a percentage. Once again, I'd like you to check your grounding. Slowly start bringing yourself back into your houses, your lounges, your kitchens, your offices, your bedrooms. Feeling those feet on the ground. Feel your knees against the chair, your bum on the seat. And when you're ready, bring yourself back into the room. And when you're ready, open your eyes, have a lovely stretch and a yawn. And welcome back, everyone. Ooh.
Wow, thank you, Cindy. That was lovely. It's so great to be taken on a guided meditation like that. What's amazing is how effective your thoughts and intentions are when you're working with energy.
Yeah.
I definitely feel a lot better now.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Val, how did you get on?
Wow, yeah. So I checked my percentage, and what a gift to go through a meditation like that. And that meditation, yeah, my percentage changed when after at the end, which was wonderful. And as you said, although we work with grounding and all these things as practitioners, it doesn't mean that we do not ever become ungrounded or not as grounded as we should be. And that meditation is just something which is very powerful, which we can use during this time to assist us with what's going on.
Thank you, Val. And maybe you guys might want to just post in the chat to say how you did with your percentages, and we can get an idea of the effectiveness of the visualization. And Mark might read some out a little bit later. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, good idea. If everybody can just post in the chat group how they found their percentage of grounding and before and after.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what everybody found.
Oh, good idea. So we've talked about our grounding. We've talked about the three base chakras, which are key at this time. The other chakras are also important to energy management, but for today's purpose, we really wanted to dive deep into those three chakras to really, because those are the key ones at this time on our earth that we need to focus on in order to feel a lot better. So it's now time for you and protection. Val, am I right? Are we on to protection? So Val's going to take us through protection again, another absolute key to having and developing invincible energy management. Thanks, Val.
So when the word protection comes up, the thought that always comes to mind, and especially what we're experiencing now, it feels like people are armoring up and putting up fences and trying to protect themselves from a fear base. And protection is more about bringing awareness and presence to our mind, body, spirit, and our environment. And when we bring awareness and presence to that, we are able then to recognize any shifts and changes within our own energy field. So when you bring awareness to something, and I love what Cindy said, and the whole exercise Cindy has just been through around our grounding and our auric field and our subtle bodies, that is a form of how we protect our own energy field. So although you're clearing and you're working with yourself, as soon as you go within, you are strengthening your energy field, and that is a form of protection. So I have to emphasize that protection doesn't come from a place of fear. If it comes from a place of fear, you will automatically lower your vibration. So when we're in that sacral area and we're in fear, we want to ensure that we're clearing that fear away and protecting ourselves by clearing it. And then it is important when we clear is we allow it to clear and move through, a little bit like Cindy explained the subtle bodies. So you allow it to clear, to move through and out, and then transmute. And that is what is important about protection. Yes, it feels like we're in a bit of a cave, each of us, or there's a bit of a barrier, or we all putting up these barriers. And this is not the way we protect ourselves energetically. It's about taking care of our own energy field, and it's not locking ourselves off from others and the connection. So part of our protection is staying connected, but being wise about how and what we are connected to. I use the analogy of the sun. So often when we're going out into the sun, certain people will need a sun factor of 50 for that day, and they will need to really lather themselves and spend an hour in the sun. Others might need a sun factor of 15, and that will be okay for them. You have to connect with what's going on with yourself to understand how much protection you need or what you need to do to protect yourself. And I love it when Cindy speaks about the grounding, because grounding brings us back into our bodies. And when you pause for that moment in your body and check what's going on, then you can connect with what you need to do about your protection. So Cindy brushes her teeth and grounds. When I was going in and out, before we were in the space we're in now, part of my way before I left my apartment would be check my grounding. I'm grounded, I'm centered in my heart, and surround myself with a form of protection that works for me. So that's one of the things that I use daily when I was moving in and out of the apartment. And when you feel grounded and centered and protected, then you find that you are able to move through life easier. You have a sense of well-being, you feel stronger, and you have focus and clarity. And in a time like this, we need ourselves to be clear and focused about what we need to do and how we need to do things. And for some of us to take care and protect ourselves, it might not be about so much of doing, it might be about more being within taking care of ourselves. When we are in fear, that cuts you off from the connection to your soul and spirit. So staying in the present moment, staying in the here and now is part of a way of protecting yourself, rooted and grounded. I love the tree. For me, the tree works. I love the roots. I love the tree. I'm able to see the mountain. I'm able to see Lion's Head. And often I think of myself as Lion's Head, as this mountain that just sits. And no matter what waves are coming or seasons are shifting and changing, the mountain just sits. And that means you're well grounded, and that enhances your protection. So think about our environments, the spaces and the places we need to access now. Those spaces, some of them are quite difficult. They can be challenging, even just going to buy groceries. So we're allowed to go to the grocer, to the pharmacist, and imagine the pharmacy, all the people that are possibly entering there in this difficult time, with all their moods, all their emotions, all their thoughts, all their fears. As Cindy spoke so beautifully about the subtle body and that auric field, that's what connects us with others. And so you want to take care of that energy system. You want to protect that energy system. So we can't avoid our energy systems becoming entangled. But Cindy gave a wonderful example last night, and I'm going to just use an example about protection. She spoke about the infinity sign, like a figure 8. And she spoke about when somebody makes a phone call and you know that person in the discussion, that when you're finished with that call, you're going to feel like all your energy has been drained from your physical being. And so she says that when she's on the phone, she gets a sense of that figure 8 going around that person, around their body, around their waist. And then it crosses in the middle and around her body and her waist. And if you think about it, it is not separating and putting a barrier, but it's forming a protection layer so that energy cannot enter your auric field. And that's what we want to do in this time. We want to ensure that other energies don't enter our auric field. So be aware, especially of this time when we have this huge download of information. That wonderful TV channel that you have going 24/7, that is coming at you and it is coming into you. So I'm not saying don't keep yourself abreast of what's happening, but be aware of what you're allowing to come in and at you, because that information then gets stuck in your energy field, and before you know it, has impacted your subtle bodies. But that white light disc, I encourage you, we talk about visualization as one of the methods of protection. That white light disc is a wonderful visualization, and it's easy to use. And what I like about it is you can take it through 3 times, transmute it, and then check your grounding and check how you're feeling and if you're present in your body. So that's one of the methods that we can use. And I think through this time, Cindy, what you shared about our grounding, our pausing, checking in with the lower 3 chakras, those are part of our protection. So protection to me is also part of self-care. So as you sense you need to take care of yourself, that's part of your protection. Letting go, not holding on to stuff. So as soon as you've been out and you sense or feel something has come in, get a sense, bring in the awareness, pause. Oh, that doesn't feel right for me now. I need to clear, I need to surround myself with my bubble of protection. And Cindy's going to do a beautiful meditation about how we can protect with a cloak and a bubble, which are some methods of protecting ourselves. There are many more, but I'd like us possibly for this webinar to engage with those methods. People use prayer. People use mantras. There's certain mantras that you can use to assist you, which will raise your vibration. By keeping your vibration raised, that's part of your protection. Cindy spoke about washing hands. So some say you should sing happy birthday. Well, I choose to sound the Om sound 3 times, because that's about 20 seconds, and that immediately raises my vibration. And if my vibration is raised with sound and I'm grounded, then I have raised my protection. Cindy has mentioned last night about crystals. There are incense, there are all sorts of things. And I encourage you, if that's what you choose to use as a form of protection to assist, then make sure you know what you're using and that you just don't go out and use anything. So it's always bringing awareness to how we take care of ourselves. And most importantly, staying connected to that wonderful source of love and light. And through the example that Cindy used of how we can connect to the love and light, staying centered in our hearts, that is part of our protection. So there's various methods of protection, but the one that I think Cindy's going to use as we go into the next meditation is very powerful. It's one that I use all the time. I enjoy the cloak when I need extra meditation. I put myself in my cloak. And then be aware of trusting yourself in this time, your boundaries that you set up. So you might have to shift a few of the boundaries where you had not great boundaries. So I'm not saying having rigid ones. Let them be a little bit flexible, but don't let them be too soft so that everything can come in. Take care. Trust yourself with what you need to put up for yourself to take care of yourself. And I always believe, and I know this works for me, if I give myself time to go within, when I go within, it is then that I connect and become aware what's happening with me, and that allows me to shift and change what I need to change, what's happening on the outside. So with that, I send you all much love and light. Stay grounded, connected, and protected. Thank you, Cindy.
Great, thanks, Val. I think protection's an interesting thing, and despite actually teaching the stuff and practicing it on a daily basis, I forget from time to time, as I'm sure all energy healers do. I remember one incident that really drove this home for me was I'd been doing some healing at home and I'd been in meditation, and then I had to rush out and go and fetch my daughter from school. And on the way, driving through the traffic of the southern suburbs, I realized I was feeling all anxious. I was starting to get annoyed with all the other drivers on the road, and really starting to feel like, I was in that energy of the southern suburbs road rage. And then I realized, oh, wait a second, this isn't my stuff. I was picking up all the negative thoughts and emotions from the collective consciousness of that space. And I realized I hadn't actually drawn my aura in and protected my aura after leaving my meditation. So it really has quite a big impact. I think if one considers how you would feel, even if you had noise cancelling headphones and a blindfold on, if you were sitting in a group at the Royal Albert Hall listening to an orchestra versus being in the same situation with noise cancelling headphones and a blindfold, and being in a stadium with boxing or wrestling taking place, you would still be feeling that energy of that group around you. And these are the thoughts and emotions that are in that collective space that are coming into your energy field. And I guess how we protect against other thoughts and emotions, which are sort of more intense thoughts, is with our own thoughts. And by creating that bubble, we're creating a field of thought that protects us against other negative thoughts.
Excellent. Thanks, Val. Thank you, Mark. Protection for me is like the grounding. It's 101. When I leave the house, when I go to the supermarket, also when I'm starting to feel other people's energy, like Mark said, that bubble of light goes around me. And for me, it's about a knowing. I just know I'm protected, and that it comes from the personal power. I know I'm protected. It doesn't matter where I go and what I do. And, I learned through my days of partying in London and going to nightclubs and things like that. And I gave up alcohol, and I still used to think that I could go out there and party like everybody else. And what was really interesting, even though I didn't take any drugs or drink, I would go to a nightclub, and the next day I would have a terrible hangover. I'm sure that's happened to people, where you go into environments where there's a lot of smoke and there's a lot of alcohol, and the next morning you wake up and you go, what? Why do I feel like this? So one really needs to be mindful of that, how your energy can just change by what's going on in the environment. So it's really important that we protect it. So we're going to go into another visualization now. So as I say, please put away your Facebook and your emails and be with me on this, because we've seen the results.
Yeah.
So let us feel those feet on the ground and feel those roots, all three of those roots once more. We really want to be in our bodies when we leave this webinar today. So I want you to really focus on those roots, going deep down and being with Mother Earth, and just bringing that earth energy up into the base, and just feel it going up and down the spine, holding you safely. And then I'd like you to bring your attention to the top of the head, and we're just going to draw in the crown chakra and circle it with white light. I'd like you to bring your attention to the third eye, which is between the brows, and just draw that in and circle it with white light. The throat, draw that in, and that's in the center of your neck. Just draw that in and circle it with white light. All that beautiful heart energy. Let us draw the heart energy in and bring it into a tight ball and circle it with white light. The solar plexus, our personal power, let us draw that in, because we don't want anyone taking that personal power away from us. And let's draw that in and draw that in quite tightly and pop it in a double bubble of white light. And then we go to the sacral and we draw that in, circle it with white light. The base, we don't draw in all together, we leave open, but we draw it in slightly. And we also place a bubble of white light, but from there, let us drop a stem again. Let us just really, really a root. Just see that root from that bubble holding onto Mother Earth. We are grounded, we are present, we are in this incarnation. And now for protection. I want you to draw in the layers of your energy. We've kind of opened up while we've been chatting on the webinar. So I just want those to be drawn in beautifully. And over those, I want you to put the most beautiful velvet cloak. Choose a color you really love and let it cover your head right over and all of your body and your aura, all the way down to the ground. And just so that everything is covered and you're in this beautiful cloak and you feel really good. I'd then like you to put a bubble of light around you. So this bubble would be 0.5 meter at the top, 0.5 meter below, 0.5 meter before you, 0.5 meter behind you, and 0.5 meter to either side. And just put this beautiful, strong bubble all the way around your body and your energy and your aura, just protecting you from those things out there that you really, really don't want to come into your energy space, just so that you can have a really positive, wonderful day. And you're going to fill that bubble with light, with whatever color suits you for the future. So just put that color into your bubble, and I want you to know that you are grounded, and I want you to know that you are protected. So just feel that at a cellular level, that you are grounded and protected, because this is how you get invincible energy. When you're ready, feel the feet on the ground, the bum on the chair, and then I'd like you to open your eyes. Have a stretch. Wonderful. I hope you all enjoyed that. So what I want to do now is I just want to go through how you develop and summarize what we've learned today, just so it's clear in your head. The first thing we're going to do is we're all going to ground. We're going to check our level of fear and let go of what we can't control. We're going to stand in our personal power. We're going to clear our subtle bodies. And we're going to protect our energy. So guys, if you follow those 5 things, you do them twice a day, 3 times a day, the more you do it, the stronger your energy field will be, and you will just have invincible energy.